games with an upper body injury, but he was in the lineup against the Canes for the regular season finale, just days ahead of his first ever playoff appearance. The Sens, who went 5-2-1 in Tkachuk's absence, will try to keep that rolling into the postseason against a visiting Carolina squad that has dropped 6 of its last 7.
Neutral zone. Good pursuit from Gaudette and Cousins. Another chance, scores! Gaudette off the rush, posted in. 1-0 Ottawa. Towards the goal. Batherson looks towards the middle. Back to Dylan Cousins, scores! Dylan Cousins with a rocket on the power play, and it's 2-0. Big check. Ridley Gregg saw it coming, and Stillman got the worst of it. Now Pinto in, scores! What a sequence! Pinto on a break, and it's 3-0 Senators.
Works this. Chance and they'll score. A quick answer right back. Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi. You're talking about what they've done in coaching now. Coming away. It's carrying low drive. Rebound out in front. The score! It's Skylar Brindamore's first NHL goal. Driving the net in the building where his father got his 1,000th point. Skylar Brindamore gets his first, and the Canes are within a goal.
What a moment for Brindamore. I remember his dad's 1,000th point in this building on a Saturday night. Of course, Rod was born very close to this arena.
We haven't seen you for the last 2.5 weeks. How are you feeling?
I don't know. That might be a question for you guys, how I'm looking. But, yeah, no, I feel good. Feel fine. Yeah, no, it's what I expected. Just get into it. Had some chances, but I think I need to do a better job to get to the net and get more offense there.
Svechnikov will get this back to the point. Gostisbehere looking for some room. We'll get it back Svechnikov, side of the net. Back to Svechnikov, he scores! A power play goal for Andrei Svechnikov. And the Canes, 50 seconds into the second, have tied it at 3. Misses everything, and it'll be a break here. Roslovic with a chance. He shoots and scores! Jack Roslovic puts Carolina in the lead, 4-3.
I mean, to have these shooters gaining confidence with these shots. Kotkaniemi, Svechnikov, and now Roslovic.
Carolina has it. Jost in the slot. He scores! From Taylor Hall. What a setup and what a finish. Tyson Jost last night in Montreal. He continues it in Canada's capital. 5 unanswered. It's 5-3 Carolina. Defenseman Batherson with a nice move through the legs. Anderson makes the save on Zetterlund.
He has found his game, Anderson. Look at the Velcro on this last save that he had.
Gets his shoulder on it. There's a shot, scores! Off of the draw. And Gaudette has 2, 5-4. Zetterlund had a small window on that power move. Might get a second chance. In front, Batherson scores! Tie game! 25 on the year for Drake Batherson, and we're all knotted up. Up to Sanderson, still on the perimeter. 1:10 to go on the power play. Sidney pass in front, scores! Batherson! And Drake Batherson gives Ottawa the lead again.
Terrific puck movement here on the power play. Zolmark to the bench and have a 6-on-4.
Over the line, Stützle in, what a move, what a goal! Individual brilliance, Stützle, 4-goal third period from Ottawa to erase a 2-goal deficit.
So goals galore in that one as we welcome in Steve Conroy. And Connie, obviously great to see Brady Tkachuk back. He said he wanted to be 100% coming into his return ahead of the playoffs. Obviously was held out of that third period just for precautionary reasons. He is okay, according to head coach Travis Green, but good to see him back there getting his feel before the Battle of Ontario.
Well, think of it. 7 years in the NHL. He is yet to play in the playoffs. And here's a guy who's built for the playoffs.
Oh, yes.
We saw what he did in the Four Nations. That's his kind of hockey. He gets amped up. He's a fire starter. Let's face it. He likes to get under the skin of the opposition. He likes to be physical. And that's what playoff hockey is all about, is getting on the body. It's really a game of intimidation when it comes to the second season being the playoffs. And he is a master at that. And the other thing about Brady Tkachuk, he plays better when he's involved, when he's getting physical. Not only does his play improve, I think his team's play improves also. I can't wait to see him play. I don't think they stand much of a chance against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I can't wait to see him get his first taste of action in the Battle of Ontario.
All right, that's interesting you say that, because it does seem like a lot of people are kind of looking at this Ottawa team. That's been a bit of a surprise, kind of feeling their game, and they're going for Ottawa over Toronto. Well, why do you think that is the case? And you say no.
Well, I say no, but I see what the experts are kind of looking at, and they're looking at what Toronto has done in the past in the first round. And you see the series right now, where it sets up. They don't play until Sunday, which is probably good for Ottawa because, as you mentioned, they helped Brady Tkachuk out in that third period. He'll get an extra day to rest before they start on Sunday.
Yep.
But that all being said, Toronto has so much pressure on them. Of course, they've got the superstars. They don't know whether they have the goaltending, but they haven't been able to get. A couple of years ago, they got past the first round, but they haven't been able to get past that first round. You look at last year, Austin Matthews, just the one goal in the series. Mitch Marner, a guy who has got 100 points this year, just one goal in that series against the Florida Panthers. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on those big guys. I think they're going to do it only because they've added a couple of guys on the back end that are really going to help. Chris Tanev, I'm talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs, Chris Tanev and Brandon Carlo. I think that's going to help settle Toronto down in their own zone. That's why I'm picking them over the Ottawa Senators. But listen, Ottawa, and you got to give a lot of credit to Travis Green, their head coach. He's got guys playing solid defense. And you look at the numbers, and a guy like Thomas Chabot, his whole career in Ottawa, he's averaged being -11. This year he's a +17. That's because the coach has instilled defense first kind of mentality. They're still scoring lots of goals, but they're playing so much better responsibly when they have the puck.
And we'll see what playoff Brady has to say, too, because I know he's amped. And to your point, he really delivered in the Four Nations faceoff, so we can't wait to see what he does at his taste of the NHL playoffs. All right, on the other side of things, this Carolina Hurricanes team will be taking on a New Jersey Devils team they obviously know very well. They just saw in the postseason 2 seasons ago. That was a second-round matchup in which they took down the Devils. But this series getting underway Sunday down in Carolina, who, of course, has home ice. And they've been a bit shaky to close out the season. Do you have concerns here, or do they still have the edge in this matchup, would you say?
I still think they have the edge, and I wouldn't be too worried about them. Listen, they were down 3-0 in this game. They scored 5 straight goals. They come back to be up 5-3. Of course, they ended up losing a 7-5. But here's the thing. They were without their top line. Aho, Blake, Jarvis, not in the lineup. Jordan Staal, Martinuk, a couple of third-liners, not in the lineup. A couple of defensemen not in the lineup, too. So I think Rod Brind'Amour is just resting some of his key guys. I think it really falls on Freddie Anderson. And Freddie Anderson didn't have his best outing tonight, but he's a proven playoff guy. I think he steps up. I think they take care of New Jersey in the first round.
And they're still looking again to just take it that next step, something that's been lacking from this team in their playoff appearances in recent years. All right, we touched on the team Ottawa will be facing. That's the Leafs. They played host to the Wings.
After Kane gathers it back up, turn it over. Matthews drops it back, Marner back across the Nyes at the goal post. Nyes at the open net, hit the pipe.
That was his 30th on the doorstep. He will, if he not sleep well tonight,
if he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
Matthews backhand shot score. And Austin Matthews has goals in 3 straight. 1-0 Leafs lead.
It's a tidy finish. Nice play by Matthew Nyes on a puck support in the neutral zone. And Matthew Nyes gets it over there just under the stick of Dylan Larkin, who slows it down.
Now Watson, that shot was blocked by Mermis. Hall took it back and rebound. Austin Watson scores.
Austin Watson. Oh, in Matthews-like fashion.
Really?
What a shot to the top of the net. Perfect. Austin Watson's got his 3rd as a Red Wing, and none more beautiful than that.
Take that, Austin.
Back for Hall. Hit a Maple Leaf body. Gets it again from Casper. And it scores.
Whoa.
Justin Hall let it go. He's got an assist tonight. And the former Maple Leaf gets the Red Wings ahead by 1. Wow.
I don't know what it hit. I don't think it hit anything.
Wall beats wall.
Wall just never saw it. It's knuckleballing.
Penalty here on Tavares for the hold. And Detroit gets the power play 5 minutes and 6 seconds into the second period.
Back for DeBrincat. For Seider, DeBrincat. One-timer scores. What a shot.
Power play success. And again, it's no surprise, no coincidence. They get the puck in the hands of Patrick Kane. And he settles things down. All they did was bring it around the boards before that. And there's a rocket.
Way back, Lorentz. Cross he goes to Philip Myers. What a move. Walks right in, shoots, scores!
Oh my goodness.
Philip Myers empties the trick bucket and gets Toronto back within one. What a goal.
Come on. The bench is loving it. What was that?
Just his second of the year.
And he puts on a clinic. Shake and bake on Mott. Inside drag on Watson. How's your patience? Opens up the 5-hole and slips it home to make it 3-2.
Back for Nylander. Nylander back with it. Back down to Marner. Shot it cute that wide. 10 seconds to go here in the period. Holmberg. Marner centers the chance for Tanev. Scores! Here we go. 1.8 seconds left. Chris Tanev ties the game.
Why not? Marner puts it right out there for him. He shovels it in the empty net. Under 2 to play.
Works back in. Tied up by Edmondson in the corner. Drop back. Mervis, a shot that goes wide up the other side. Love chance, scores! Scott Laughton, the overtime winner. His second to lead. And Toronto takes it 4-3 in overtime.
Mitch Marner notched his first 100-point season on Tuesday, and on a Thursday, he added 2 more, giving him 102 for the year. That's the 6th most points in a season in Leafs franchise history. Marner, by the way, had multiple points in all 4 games against the Red Wings this season with 9 total points. All right, Connie, so we talked a little bit about Toronto and what we want to see from, their young star talent up front and how they need to really get over it because they have just 1 playoff round win in their last 8 appearances. But we think about goaltending, always a kind of a question mark there. They seem to have solidified it throughout the season, but there's not much playoff experience. Is that a concern for you?
I think it is a little bit, but you get experience by getting in those games and by winning them, too. And Anthony Stolarz has been absolutely fantastic when it comes to the metrics. His save percentage, amongst the best in the NHL. .926 puts him top 3 amongst guys who have 30 or more starts. You look at Joseph Woll. No, not too shabby either at a 909 save percentage. He has a little more playoff experience than does Anthony Stolarz, but it looks like the Maple Leafs are going with Stolarz. I'm not too worried about that, and I kind of touched on it earlier. I think they're better defensively. They've added some defensemen, whether it's Brandon Carlo, Chris Tanev, who blocks just a ton of shots out there. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has been really good this year playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we saw a kid score tonight, Philip Myers, who may draw into the lineup. He hasn't been an everyday player for them, but he could get in there for them. So you score some goals, you keep the puck out of your net. Maple Leafs are used to playing close games. They finished out the season on a real high note. I want to say they've won their last 5 games. They won the division, which to them was really big. Winning the division takes the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning out of it, so they don't have to play those guys. So that's a mini win right there. They do face an Ottawa team, a very hungry Ottawa team that they should beat. So I think they're feeling pretty good about their game. And I think the most important thing is it's not the goal scoring, it's the team defense right now.
And we'll see how it goes because it's going to be a heated rivalry. Again, the Battle of Ontario, your first round matchup between Ottawa and Toronto. Looking forward to that. We're just getting started here on The Fly. Up next, we'll discuss Nikita Kucherov winning the Art Ross Trophy for a 3rd time. Much more on The Fly is coming your way next.
Boring.
Certain you're on mute?
Yeah. Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. Experience certainty with 4imprint. High-quality promotional products, expert service, and on-time delivery. Visit 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Nothing scary about Energizer Ultimate Lithium. The #1 longest lasting AA battery. You missed his turn at the piñata because you were busy not missing hockey. Watch in-game highlights, stories, and post-game recaps only with the NHL app.
Safe Light Repair. Safe Light Replace.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Can confirm. Very easy.
SafeLight can come to you for free. And our highly trained techs can replace your windshield right at your home.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Go to safelight.com and schedule a replacement today.
There's a shot, he scores!
Greatness isn't just about setting records. It's about leaving a legacy that endures even beyond the game. Alex Ovechkin, the Washington Capitals, Hockey Fights Cancer, and the V Foundation for Cancer Research are partnering together on the great chase for victory over cancer. Donate any amount you can to Pediatric Cancer Research. For the remainder of his career, Ovi will personally donate for every goal he scores. Together, we can achieve victory over cancer.
Saturday, the competition is getting tight. They score! As Team USA skates into the semifinals.
The road continues on for the United States.
At the Women's World Championship, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network.
Tonight inside Madison Square Garden, the Rangers take the ice for the final time this season, while a living legend takes to the airwaves and reports for work inside his second home for the final time. 14,798 days after it all began as the voice of the New York Rangers. And right now, as the Rangers take the Garden ice, they're showing some love right back. Every player in blue wearing number 40 Rosen sweaters, and there's a patch with an insignia of Sam's signature call on the left shoulder. It's a power play goal.
Congratulations to Nikita Kucherov for winning the scoring title again. He doesn't even need this game in order to win it. He's already got 121 points. Just another fabulous year.
Point moves it up the boards. Kindler's pass. Trocheck takeaway. Trocheck to Miller. Trocheck scores! Another shorthanded goal for the Rangers. They're 18th this season to lead the league, and Vincent Trocheck with his 6th shorthanded goal, his 3rd in the last 5 games.
Now there's one area of the game that they are excellent at, right? This season. Forced a turnover, Trocheck jumps on top of it, and a quick give and go. And goaltender Johansson can come across. Trocheck up high over the glove underneath the crossbar.
Kucherov with the chances. He's back on the ice. Good save by Shesterkin. Another shot save.
Hit him in the mask, I believe. There's Point with the pass. A hard, high, rising shot by Yanni Gourde. Gets him right in the mask. Where the puck went, kind of lost sight of it, but made the save.
DeAndre Miller finds Borgen. And a beautiful glove save. Shot by Kreider. Blocked. Kreider again. He scores. Let's see. Rest saying no.
I thought it was
Rangers think it was in.
I thought it hit post inside the net and out.
Kreider thinks it's a goal.
Yeah, he got his own rebound. His first shot was blocked. Came right back to him, and then he rifled it. I thought it post and in and out.
The play has been confirmed. Do we have a goal on the ice?
There's the quick review, and the goal stands. Chris Kreider with a rocket of a shot, and the Rangers have a 2-0 lead. And want to personally thank Mika Zibanejad, Joe, for his caring and his generosity. He gave me a game-used stick from his 5-goal night. Right. Wow, what a present that is. What a prize for me. Zibanejad scores! Mika Zibanejad makes it 3-0. Now I know he's got magic in that stick. I've got his 5-goal stick up here. Beautiful shot by Mika.
Oh, boy.
Well, we had a great chat yesterday, and I'm happy for him. And the Rangers score. Mika Zibanejad with his 20th goal of the season. That's the way to finish the season. Good night for Mika.
Kreider with the shot. Zibanejad there with the deflection.
Kreider and Zibanejad. What a combination. Yeah. It's been one of the best for years. Final game of this glorious broadcasting career. It's a shutout for Igor Shesterkin.
Tonight's first star from MSG Network, Sam Rosen.
Great way to go out there for Sam Rosen. Well, no points for Nikita Kucherov in this one, but it doesn't matter. Kucherov finishes the season as the league's leading scorer once again, taking home the Art Ross Trophy for the 2nd straight year and 3rd time overall in his career. Kucherov also becomes just the 10th player ever with 3 scoring titles. So Kucherov, it seems like he just quietly goes about his business and just puts up the points night in and night out. And maybe some thought going into this season there would be a big drop-off. And without Steven Stamkos, it didn't seem to be the case at all. He still carried the load for that team.
Yeah, he just plays at another level. It's like he's playing 3D chess and everyone else is playing checkers. It's just his anticipation, his awareness on the ice. I don't think there's a better backhanded passer in the entire NHL. And although he plays wing, and you don't really think of wingers, especially high-scoring wingers, as shooters, he's more of a passer. More than twice, 2/3 of his point come by way of assists. He can shoot the puck, too, and he's a threat to shoot all the time. But I do think he's underappreciated, and it's hard to imagine a guy who's won the Art Ross Trophy a couple of times being underappreciated. I honestly think that he's going to win the Hart Trophy this year. I know a lot of people have their money on Connor Hellebuyck, and he's had a fantastic season, too. But what Nikita Kucherov has done, and, he's got a pretty good supporting cast, is really remarkable. The consistency. And like I said, I just think he thinks the game at a different level.
Yeah, and back-to-back scoring titles definitely would be worthy of certainly bringing home the Hart Trophy as well. Well, he'll be bringing his best as he'll be facing a team that he's very familiar with in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, as it is again the Battle of Florida for the second straight year. These two teams meeting in the Eastern Conference first round. What do you see in this matchup? I mean, year in and year out, we know it's a feisty one.
It's nasty. And in fact, I think it's probably the nastiest of the rivalries. Toronto, Ottawa, it'll be rough. But these guys honestly hate each other. Yeah. And when the two guys on opposite teams hate each other, it makes for a lot of drama and it makes for really good hockey. It's going to be physical. It's going to be high scoring. And they've got two world-class goalies in Vasilevsky and Bobrovsky. Yes. Fantastic goaltending, but there's going to be some goals scored. And that's what fans want to see, but they're also going to want to see physical hockey. And these two teams, as I mentioned, don't like each other very much. Florida's had a lot of turnover. And you think of what Bill Zito's done there, their general manager. He's brought in some new guys, and they've just fit in seamlessly. So I expect it to be a 6-7 game series, but I think the Florida Panthers are going to come out on top.
Yeah, the defending champs will see what they do as they bid for a repeat here. Let's keep it moving and get you Caps Penguins now.
For the first time since breaking Gretzky's record, Alex Ovechkin meets his greatest rival. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins take the ice for one final time this season here at PPG Paints Arena. NHL debut for Clay Stevenson. 26-year-old to Erik Karlsson. Off a stick, tip tied by Brian Rust, who's had a career season. Backhand, big save, Stevenson on Crosby. Welcome to the National Hockey League. Clay Stevenson, 2-on-1. Wilson holds, rebound, score! Connor McMichael gives the Caps the lead.
When we talked about some detail, look at this zone exit. That's Mr. Tom Wilson, the freight train, power forward. Nobody's stopping him, but you can't execute a POP, a pass-off pad, better than that.
Shot redirected, score! Brian Rust has his 30th, and we're tied at 1.
Look at Brian Rust, a.k.a. Johnny on the spot, as he's in perfect position to put home that rebound.
And the Penguins will head on the power play. Grzelcyk out high. Koivunen on the turn. Crosby spun around. Rust scores! That is sick!
When you paint a Picasso, the picture is even better. Oh, what a pass by Sidney Crosby! Are you kidding me? Look at the spin around of the 360 on the dance floor.
What a way for Sidney Crosby to hit 90 points. Wow. Again, for the 9th time in his career, one of only 10 all-time who has done that. Washington on the move. Penguins crumple. Strome scores! Tied at 2.
Pittsburgh is challenging for offside prior to the goal. We're watching Alexander Ovechkin there. Upon further review, the play was offsides. We have no goal to play.
Retrieved by Tomasino, walking in, score! Sidney Crosby makes it a 2-goal lead.
You got to manage pucks in the defensive zone, and perhaps the 5D kind of showing itself. But look at the vision by Tomasino. Waits for Chychrun to get down, puts it underneath the stick.
Crosby's 13th season with at least 30, and he's got his 23rd multi-point game of the season.
Strome. In and across, Ovechkin scores! Hayes from the office buries it past Nedeljkovic. 8:97 as Ovechkin and Crosby trade goals on this last day of the regular season. Brilliant moments from both.
Broken up by Danton Hyman on a breakaway. Score! Now Tomasino drags. Scores! 15 seconds later. 2 goals in 15 seconds. So in the blink of an eye, it's now a 3-goal Pittsburgh lead.
But what a treat it's been seeing both Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin, two of the best players ever, to face off against one another once again. Both had impacts and played exceptionally well in this game.
Alex Ovechkin made a little more history in the regular season finale. He scored his 897th career goal and 44th of the season. With it, Ovi ties Gordie Howe for the most in a season by a player aged 39 or older. Howe had 44 tallies as a 40-year-old for the Red Wings in the 1968-69 season. Always love seeing Ovi and Sid battle it out, and fitting that they both get on the board in their final meeting of the year against one another. But something you don't expect when these two teams are meeting is for, the Pittsburgh fans to be given an ovation, but they are given a well-deserved ovation there for Alex Ovechkin during a TV timeout.
Well, they're knowledgeable hockey fans in Pittsburgh, and it's great to see. You think about it, Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby really helped get the NHL back on the sports map. After the 04-05 lockout season, they changed the rules in the NHL, and these guys burst onto the scene, and they've been superstars ever since. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to Sidney Crosby, too, because what they have done for both their teams, whether it's the Stanley Cups, the scoring titles, what Ovi's done now being the leading all-time goal scorer, truly remarkable. And, of course, they both go out in this game tonight. Ovi scores, as does Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, and you just love seeing the way their careers have paralleled one another, and obviously the appreciation there from the fans in Pittsburgh, because there's been so much attention, as we know, on the Great Chase all year, and Ovi now officially over that hump. But you have to imagine for this Washington team, that's taken a lot of the emotional energy out of them. Now that that's kind of behind them, where do you think this team is at going into the postseason as the top seed in the East?
Well, Spencer Carberry, their head coach, is going to make sure they get refocused. And yeah, a lot of attention was paid to the race, and obviously him breaking the record. But now it's all about getting another Stanley Cup. And their last Stanley Cup was 7 or 8 years ago. So you see their schedule, the upcoming schedule against the Montreal Canadiens, a team that scratched into the playoffs.
Yeah, game 82.
Last game of the year. So they're riding a high right now. The Washington Capitals, I think they've got more depth. They've got a little more experience. Of course, they've got a few guys on the team who won a Stanley Cup back 6-7 years ago. So I think that's going to help them a lot. They've got to feel good. I mean, they almost ended up with the best record in the entire NHL. They stumbled down the way, but that was after Ovi got his record. That was to be expected, I think. But right now, all the focus is on getting the Stanley Cup, and I think they've got a good chance. I don't think they're going to get all the way to the finals, but they've got a really good chance to make some noise.
Well, we'll see. They were last champions in 2018. It's been a special year, so we'll see how it continues come playoff time. Still to come here on The Fly, the Kings finish off a successful regular season, but can they finally beat the Oilers? We'll discuss that next.
Friday.
The regular season over and done with. It is playoff time.
Tune in as our experts break down both conferences. NHL Tonight, conference playoff previews. Friday, beginning at 7 Eastern on NHL Network.
Carl never really thought much of his credit scores until he got Credit Karma and used his scores to score more. Like this less humble abode. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on. Download the app today.
The all-new Infiniti QX80, a 450 horsepower twin-turbo beast of luxury.
Invest in an Infiniti without new tariffs during the once-in-a-springtime event.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, But the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the Superlight 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
It will always bring us together. It might even surprise us. But more often than not, it's a daily commitment.
Not again!
Of believing. Of dreaming. And trusting that no matter where you are, it's with you.
Everybody's waiting for $8.95.
Ovechkin has it, he scores! The chasing days are done! There's a new goal-scoring champion, and his name is Alexander Ovechkin!
And for the Calgary Flames, 4 rookie laps, 4 Flames making their NHL debut here tonight.
What a moment for these 4 young men. These veterans recognize the importance of that rookie lap. They're there behind the scenes watching them go round and round. So that's their motivation this evening. Zane Parekh, you know, I thought he was just excellent in that first period. Played just over 7 minutes. He had 1 shot on net. He's got his family in town, his dad Azim, his mom Mona Lee, and then a conversation with Dan Lambert, who runs the defense for the Flames, and there's his dad, you know, just loving it, got the Flames jersey on, and so proud of his son.
Here's a steal as Klockner put it right through the top of the crease, was hoping there was a white jersey. Mahal shooting for a tip, and Klockner now spinning around, Kadri scores! Nazem Kadri has the opener in game 82.
He scored some beauty goals this season. He could have his own highlight reel. There's been so many of them, and there's another one. Comes around the net and roosts it top shelf.
The debut for Taylor Ward, not to be confused with the Angels outfielder Taylor Ward, and the first father-son duo in LA Kings history. Dixon Ward and now Taylor Ward making his debut here tonight. A turnover, shot, save, another point-blank chance for Taylor Ward.
Byfield, some room, 2-on-1 Kings. Byfield in, passes over. Another left pass save to Rob Fiala. Edmondson threw a backhand towards the goal. Boy, Dan Vladar, you said it, Megan, has been dialed. Up ice, 3-on-1 the other way. Flames coming in. Hunts across. Robert to Martin, he scores! Sam Martin, first NHL goal!
You could just see the joy, and there's his family. This all starts with a massive save from Dan Vladar. Flames head up the other way, and an odd man rush. Just a perfect feed from Dryden Hunt. Sam Morton heads right to the front of the net, buries it, and great celly from him and a great celly from his family, too.
Coronado usually doesn't need 2 of those. And Zane Parekh scores! And Zane Parekh, welcome to the National Hockey League as he gets the tip-in goal and cross off another rookie. in his debut, scoring for the Flames. Clark, one-timer, Spence, deep in his net. Rebounding score. Taylor Ward in his NHL debut.
Wow, that's emotional. The dad and the mom celebrating and embracing. They just can't believe it. And knowing them, I got to tell you, this is an emotional one for sure. Just such a proud moment. Former NHLer, now his son playing his first game, and now he gets his first National Hockey League goal.
Well, a special game there, a lot of NHL firsts in that game. But let's turn the page now as LA prepares for a very familiar opponent in the Edmonton Oilers. 4th straight year they will be meeting in the postseason. Now, LA has home ice for the first time because the Oilers took them down the last 3 years. As you see right there, how these playoff matches have gone down. So, Connie, is this the year that the Kings finally get over the hump?
I think it might be. And I look at that Edmonton Oilers team. They've been banged up a lot this year. Connor McDavid's missed time. Leon Draisaitl has missed time. Zach Hyman has missed time. It looked like they'll all be back as far as Draisaitl and Hyman go. Not sure about Ekholm. And Mattias Ekholm apparently is going to miss the first round of the playoffs. I think that's a huge minus for the Edmonton Oilers. And you see Evander Kane, he's a big if. He could be ready for the start of the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. But Jake Wallman, we should add in there also a possibility to start in that game number 1. But when you take a guy like Mattias Ekholm out of the lineup, it affects everyone else in the lineup, especially Evan Bouchard, who I thought last year was fantastic going to the finals. He and Ekholm were absolutely fantastic, but now he doesn't have a guy who really covers up a lot of his defensive mistakes. So with Ekholm not in there, I'm not crazy about the goaltending, especially. Stuart Skinner's had an up and down year. And you look on the flip side, the LA Kings, and Darcy Kemper's come in, first year with the LA Kings. Of course, he played in LA a few years ago, but he's been absolutely fantastic. And I think he's brought a calming influence back there. Drew Doughty missed a big chunk of the beginning of the season, and there you see Darcy Kemper's numbers, the .922 save percentage, top 5 in the entire NHL, 5 shutouts. And the defense in front of him, I mentioned Doughty missed a good chunk of the first part of the year. You get guys like Gavrikov and Edmondson and Spence and Clark and Mikey Anderson, names you don't normally hear because they play on the West Coast, but they've had fantastic seasons back there. They don't give up a lot of chances, and Jim Hiller has done a fantastic job with that team. So, yeah, the LA Kings, I think this is the year they're going to do it. I'm not crazy about the fact that Edmonton Oilers lost a lot of speed in the offseason, whether it was Broberg or Holloway. And we should mention Fogle, a guy who's playing right now with the LA Kings.
Yeah, what are you liking about him?
He's a playoff performer. He's got 24 goals this year, but it's not just the goals. He's tough to play against. He'll kill penalties. He'll get on the body. A +36 rating. Great pickup by the LA Kings. Rob Blake, their general manager, doing a fantastic job. Just adding a few little pieces here and there, and they really transformed the team in a hurry. So having home ice advantage, huge for them because they get the best home record in the entire NHL. I believe they're going to, I'm not going to say upset, they're going to beat the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, we'll see if it finally happens. Of course, you can never count out some of those star power on the Edmonton Oilers, so this should be a real fun meeting again, 4th straight year. All right, up next, we'll wrap up the highlights with some of the Eastern teams that won't be in the postseason, including the Islanders and the Blue Jackets. That's next.
With 4imprint, you get more than promo products. You get the certainty of personal service, design expertise, and unmatched quality to make your moment shine. Be 4imprint certain at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
What if I told you that one of the best things you can do to improve the look and performance of your car can be done for under $20 and in less than 30 minutes?
Fix your cloudy and weathered headlights with Cerakote's #1 best-selling ceramic headlight restoration kit in just 3 easy steps and without power tools. Just wipe, sand, and apply. It's that easy. Cerakote restores and protects, and for as long as you own your vehicle, it's guaranteed. You can trust Cerakote with over 60,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait until it's too late. Buy today for under $20.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes. Go to SafeLight.com and schedule a replacement today.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the deal now.
Your nerves might be shot. Your hopes might be hiding in the crease. And you might be watching a rat trick. Or you might be feeling the heat. And you might be seeing double. And you might be witnessing history. And you might be thinking, oh my God, this is it. Whatever it is, you're in it. And with the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's the only thing that matters.
Wednesday, Team USA begins their hunt for a gold medal.
The Americans strike first
when they face off with Czechia at the 2025 U18 Men's World Championship. Wednesday, 8 Eastern on NHL Network.
Islanders trying to make a change, going to lead to a chance. Center is in off the glass. Tanner Monahan and Marchenko. Sean Monahan, since his return, 15 points in 12 games. Marchenko in and then behind the back, unable to finish Jenner.
Look at this little play, trying to get Boone that goal right there. Job by Marchenko.
Trying to get Jenner a goal. Is that what's going on here? Nifty play by Marchenko.
Multiple post hits, no score. Shots 10-6. Couldn't get it out. Sillinger stepping. Here he is. He scores. Cole Sillinger. 1-0 Jackets. What a shot.
He picks up that puck. He just finds all that ice because he's moving his feet. How about that effort right there? Jackets on the board.
This is kind of like an exhibition game, and he didn't bear down as much as he had been, and the Islanders paid early on.
Rolls back to Harris. Harris over to Fabro. His shot. Score! Dante Fabro has another one, and the Blue Jackets are up 2-0.
Adding to that goal total here for the Blue Jackets on the season.
Backdoor to Voronkov. And there's another guy hitting new highs in his young career. 3-0.
That's an assist for Zach Werenski. Different guys all season long for this Blue Jackets team, and he picks it up. It goes off his stick, off his skate, and in the net, and then he makes sure everyone knows that he got it.
Lying after the puck is Corral. He gets it to relax, and he shoots and scores! Sean Corrali on the rush to make it 4-0 Jackets.
And that was a rolling puck. I love that he just kind of threw it towards the net. That was tucked for Holberg.
On a 3-on-1 pass over. One-timer score. It's Zach Werenski who keeps the cannon firing.
Not just a leader, unselfish. He gets it all. And there's Zach Werenski in that spot. Sean Monahan's in perfect ice here to shoot this puck. And this crowd is having fun like they did all season long with this team.
Zikas for Fasching. We've got a penalty upcoming, and Hudson Fasching just scored. On a delayed call, Fasching over the glove of Graves, and the Islanders spoil the shutout.
See what he does? He just whips it. That is a perfect shot. Oh, it gets deflected. You can see it change course on Jet, and that's why it beat him.
Oh, there's Adam Fantilli. Hold that thought. 6-1 Jackets.
Nice turnover there by Adam Fantilli. How about James Van Riemsdyk? Lots of fun here for the Blue Jackets players tonight.
The end of the season, but really just the beginning for this Columbus Blue Jackets team. One final cannon shot. That is the way to end this season with the fifth line saluting their team.
These guys are going over to see Matt Martin. James Van Riemsdyk called him back. A lot of respect for a guy who played the game the right way, you know. Battled, did anything for his teammates. Long time Islander, went to Toronto for a bit. That's where he played with James Van Riemsdyk, and Reamer went right over and called him back. And look at this from the Blue Jackets organization, the players just paying their respects.
That is so special. Congratulations to Matt Martin.
Here's Alex Tuch playing it across. Bernard Docker gaining the Flyers line. He'll continue playing down. Here's Tuch in front, scores! Great feed, Alex Tuch. The Rick Martin Memorial Award winner makes it 1-0. That ties his career best of 36 goals that he put up last year. Here's Forster. Shot, scores. No, rebound goes in the corner. I beg your pardon.
Flyers going to the power play. They're 1 for their last 9.
On Kolosov. Score! Peyton Krebs. 2-0 Buffalo.
There's a chance for Michkov, and he scores! Matvey Michkov with his 25th goal of the year. A seed and a power play goal against the Flyers, back within one.
Well, that's a significant milestone. 25 goals. That's got to feel good. Buffalo pushing it actually with 2 on the up-man, scores! McLeod feeds it across and Quinn buries it. It's 3-1 Buffalo. 2-on-1 on entry. J.J. Peterka fires and scores. Early goal here in the second. It's 4-1.
Philadelphia, number 11, 2 minutes left.
Connecting out of the box, gets it in front to Couturier. Couturier for Michkov, he scores! Matvey Michkov, his second of the night, his 26th of the year to lead all rookies in the NHL, and it's 4-2.
Paling again, off the post and in. Noah stays out. Reimer diving back for it. Thought maybe that got in behind him after it hit the post. Is Reimer okay?
Yeah, he got hit in the net there, and he got his glove off really quick. You got the referee looking at it right now. Hopefully
up in the apple area there.
Yeah.
Oh, you see the skate of Paling, the right skate, clip the side of Reimer. Right there, the skate.
Oh, wow.
Boy. Wow. That was a close call. Looks like everything's A-okay, but certainly for Reimer, a scary moment.
Here's Noah Cates in front, the tip, and they score! Tyson Forster on cue. Now has 25 goals on the year, and it's a 1-goal game.
Flyers shot. That one off the leg. Far post. Oh, James Reimer somehow kept that one out. What a save by Reimer. And I think they're going to look.
Yeah, has not crossed the line. Has not.
The puck did not cross the goal line, therefore no goal.
Cloud goes cross ice. There's the pass in front, the tip, and they score! That's Peterka, I believe, getting his stick on it. And the Sabres get a 2-goal lead back with 3:26 to go.
I wonder if they're going to look at this. Oh, yeah, I mean, basically the skate knocks the glove right out of his hand. I don't see how this can count.
And it will be challenged.
The coach's challenge video review would determine that there was goaltender interference.
No goal.
They have no goal.
Sabres with an empty net chance. McLeod. Yes, sir. 5-3 Sabres.
Back out to the point. Brink hammers one. They score. Brink fires away with 18.2 seconds left. It's a 1-goal game again.
Couturier for the Flyers. McLeod for the Sabres. 1 second. That'll do it. Sabres hang on to win their season finale, and Lindy Ruff wins 900 as a head coach in the National Hockey League as he walks it off.
Now here are your top shelf plays of the night.
Koivunen on the turn. Crosby spun around. Ruff scores! That is sick from Sid.
What a pass by Sidney Crosby. Are you kidding me? Look at the spin around of the 360.
That's number 31 for Adam Fantilli. We are watching the birth of a star in this league.
Over the line, Stützle in, what a goal! Individual brilliance, Stützle makes it 7-5.
Stützle takes the ice, drives hard onto the forehand and elevates it over the right pad of Freddie Anderson.
To the Flyers, what a move, walks right in, shoots, scores! Oh my goodness. The Flyers empties the trick bucket, what a goal! Come on!
Slicing through, Pulick got it, Ovechkin scores!
I hope all you hockey fans are just drinking in all this greatness between Alexander Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby this matchup. Another historic chapter!
The Columbus Blue Jackets win outdoors.
This is exactly what it's all about.
This is Cassie. She never really paid attention to her credit scores until she got Credit Karma and used her scores to score more. Like a great rate on an auto loan or some more reliable wheels. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on. Download the app today.
This is a story about the one who keeps it all moving. He is measured, precise. He thinks ahead, stocks the right parts, and knows just where to find them. Because for the one, this facility is about more than business. The industrial grade products you need delivered fast. Call, clickgrainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, But the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the Superlight 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-720-0851 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge is back.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends and see if you can predict this year's playoffs.
Shoots and scores.
Can you pick the perfect bracket and claim the ultimate prize? A trip to a 2025-26 NHL event. Sign up today for a chance to win exclusive prizes at nhl.com/bracket.
It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. We'll never sacrifice their will. Against all the odds, against all your pain, your back's on the wall, with no one to blame. All hearts won't be tamed. And it's
Sweet victory indeed. Time will soon tell who will get to hoist Lord Stanley. But for now, let's take a look at the schedule for all 8 game ones for the first round. It all gets underway on Saturday with the Jets and Blues at 6 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Stars and Avalanche at 8:30. So let's dig in on those 2 series that, again, get us all started on Saturday. Connie, we are so excited for this one. Blues and Jets. We know Winnipeg just had an absolutely incredible regular season, first ever President's Trophy for them. But the next step is the question mark for this group. Certainly very disappointed with how they left things last year. And I think Connor Hellebuyck in particular, he's got something to prove.
Yeah, last year against Colorado, I think his save percentage was .864, which is not very good. It wasn't all on him. There was a lot of defensive breakdowns in front. But then you look the year before against the Vegas Golden Knights, I think an .873 save percentage. They get bumped by the Vegas Golden Knights. Connor Hellebuyck always has great regular seasons. Now, you see the playoff stats. 9-11 isn't bad, but it's a recency effect. The last 2 years have not been very good. That's what he's going to be thinking about.
Yeah.
That's what he's got to improve upon. So you look at the goaltender down at the other end, Jordan Binnington. He's had some success. He's won a Stanley Cup, obviously. He won the Four Nations for Team Canada. He's probably feeling pretty good about his game right now. So advantage, I think because of the experience, it probably goes to Jordan Binnington. And And, you look at that St. Louis Blues team, and this is the upcoming schedule. They started off Saturday in Winnipeg. You look at that team, they've won 12 games in a row at home.
They were rolling, yeah.
They've also they had a 12-game winning streak, home and away, just recently broken about a week and a half ago. So they were on a roll. Jim Montgomery was brought in as coach partway through the season. He knows exactly what buttons to push, especially for the young guys. And that's the biggest thing I noticed with St. Louis was the Kairus and the Thomases and the Neighbors really brought their play up once Jim Montgomery got behind the bench. So great to see. Still a lot of holdovers from that time. They won the Stanley Cup back in 2018 from the St. Louis Blues, so they've got a little bit of experience there. It's going to be a tough one for the Winnipeg Jets, and I'm actually thinking there's going to be an upset there with St. Louis.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be something? Obviously, the pressure is on Winnipeg as the top team in the league all season long. Now, there's plenty of good storylines as well in this Stars-Avs meeting, too. And you got to begin with Mikko Rantanen going up against his former team. We know what's kind of unfolded and transpired this season there, but he's been in a little bit of a slow roll as well lately, just one goal in his recent stretch of games. And the Stars team in general, they're a bit banged up right now. They get Sagan back, but Robertson just goes down.
Yeah, that's right. And they've lost 7 in a row, which isn't a death sentence because they've kind of known they've been locked into that, that second playoff spot for a while. So maybe they took the foot off the gas a little bit. What worries me there is Miro Heiskanen and his health. And he's been out of the lineup for the last little bit. They're a different team with him out of the lineup. Guys having to play more minutes, maybe not accustomed to those minutes.
Yeah.
Jake Ottinger's starting to look a little more normal, a little more beatable of late. So, and you look at the two goaltenders, pretty strong years, especially Casey DeSmith. His backup actually had a better save percentage than Jake Ottinger. But, I look to the big guys on the back end. And if you don't have a Miro Heiskanen in the first round, that's a huge minus for the Dallas Stars. And they're going to have their hands full. And you talked about Mikko Rantanen, just one goal now in his last 9 games. And it's been kind of a tough year. I think he was blindsided by the trade from Colorado to Carolina. And you look at his splits on the year, and he was just humming along when he was with the Avalanche. Of course, he gets traded to the Hurricanes and decides that he didn't like it there and wasn't playing particularly well. And playing a lot better, about a point per game with the Stars. He's getting his assists, but they'd like to see him scoring some goals. We mentioned the 1 goal in the last 9 games. He is the kind of guy, though, who is a proven playoff performer. He's over a point per game in the playoffs. I see him bringing it to another level. But this is another one you should circle. Colorado against the Dallas Stars. That is must-see TV.
Yeah, and the Avs, they've got plenty of experience, and they've got their captain waiting right there, possibly jumping back into the lineup come playoff time. It's time now for the 3 stars of the night. Our 3rd star goes to Brian Rust, who scored 2 goals in Pittsburgh's win over Washington. Rust reached the 30-goal mark with 31 this season for the first time in his 11-year career. Mika Zibanejad is our 2nd star. He scored 2 goals and added a helper in the Rangers' victory against Tampa. Zibanejad also tied Mark Messier for the 8th most goals with the Rangers, with 250. And our 1st star is Drake Batherson, who had 2 goals and an assist in the Senators' win against Carolina. With the 3 points, Batherson set a new career high with 68 points this season. And that does it for us on this final On the Fly of the season. What a year it was in the National. I'm Erica Wachter for Steve Conroy and our entire team at NHL Network, all the incredibly hardworking and talented men and women behind the scenes. We say thank you for joining us night in and night out this season. It's been a blast, and now the real fun begins. Enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll see you again on the fly for opening night. Until then, we'll leave you with the best from the final night of this 24-25 regular season campaign.
One more time, Crosby and Ovechkin this season.
Sidney Crosby makes it a 2-goal lead. Ovechkin scores!
It's Skylar Brindamore's first NHL goal in the building where his father got his 1,000th point.
4 Calgary rookies making their NHL debut.
That's an assist for Zach Werenski. Single-season assist leader all time for the Blue Jackets.
Tonight's first star, Sam Rosen.
Hello and welcome to On the Fly. I'm Erica Wachter. Steve Conroy joins us in just a bit. The field of 16 is set for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and while most attention is on the anticipation of dropping the puck in round one, we've still got 7 games to go as we say goodbye to the regular season. Now in Ottawa Thursday, the Sens were saying hello and welcome back to their captain. Brady Tkachuk missed the last 8 games with an upper body injury, but he was in the lineup against the Canes for the regular season finale, just days ahead of his first ever playoff appearance. The Sens, who went 5-2-1 in Tkachuk's absence, will try to keep that rolling into the postseason against a visiting Carolina squad that has dropped 6 of its last 7.
Neutral zone. Good pursuit of Gaudette and Cousins. Another chance, scores! Gaudette off the rush, posted in, 1-0 Ottawa. Towards the goal. Matheson looks towards the middle. Back to Dylan Cousins, scores! Dylan Cousins with a rocket on the power play, and it's 2-0. Big check. Ridley Gregg saw it coming, and Stillman got the worst of it. Now Pinto in, scores! What a sequence! Pinto on a break, and it's 3-0 Senators.
Works this in. Chance and they'll score! A quick answer right back. Yes, Barry. Coach Kiniemi. You're talking about what they've done in coaching now. Coming away. It's carrying low drive. Rebound up in front. The score! It's Skylar Brindamore's first NHL goal. Driving the net in the building where his father got his 1,000th point. Skylar Brindamore gets his first, and the Canes are within a goal.
What a moment for Brindamore. I remember his dad's 1,000th point in this building on a Saturday night. Of course, Rod was born very close to this arena.
We haven't seen you for the last 2.5 weeks. How are you feeling?
I don't know. That might be a question for you guys how I'm looking, but man,